So now I have number 4, which is 5 over 2x minus 2/3 equals 1 over x plus 5/6. And again, because I have a minus, I am going to add the opposite just to make my life a lot better. So now I'm going to look here. I'm going to look at all of my denominators, 2x, 3x, and 6. So looking at those, I have to decide on my LCM. And my LCM here is going to be a 6x because 2, 3, and 6 can all go into 6. And then the x's, all of those x's can just go into the x. So I'm going to multiply all of these fractions times 6x over 1. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to rewrite this and just space it out a little bit. So 5 over 2x plus negative 2/3 equals, oh, that was a little bit too spaced out actually. Let me just kind of rework this. Give me just a quick second here. Okay, so I have 5 over 2x, excuse me, plus negative 2 over 3 equals 1 over x plus the 5x. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put in this 6x over 1 next to all of them. And then I get 6x over 1. So now I'm going to need to diagonally reduce. So the 2x and the 6x can reduce and be 3. So I've got 5 times 3 there. The 3 and the 6x can reduce to be a 2x. So I've got negative 2 times 2x there. The x and the 6x can reduce to get 6. So I've got 1 times 6. And the 6 and the 6x can reduce and get x. So then I get 5 times x. So that's actually what I'm going to do on this next slide here. 5 times 3 is 15. Negative 2 times 2x is negative 4x. 1 times 6 is 6. And then 5 times x is that 5x. So this time I don't have any quadratics, so I am going to go ahead and just put all of my constants to one side and all of my variables on the other. So I'm going to add 4x to both sides, and I'm going to subtract 6 on both sides. So I get 9 equals 9x. If I divide by 9, I get x equals 1, and that does work for any of my denominators, so we're good to go. Okay, now I have one more, number 5. We have 2 over y plus, 1 over 2 equals 5 over 2y. So now I need to look at my denominators of y, 2, and 2y. So it looks like my least common multiple is going to be 2y over 1 technically. So I'm going to have 2 over y plus 1 over 2 equals 5 over 2y. So I need to go ahead and put in that 2y over 1. I get 2y over 1 and 2y over 1. So now let's diagonally reduce here. So the y and the 2y eliminate to just get a 2. The 2 and the 2y eliminate to just get a y, and the 2y and 2y eliminate to just get a 1. So then I end up with 2 times 2, which is 4, plus 1 times y, which is y, equals 5 times 1, which is 5. And then at this point, I already have all my variables on one side, so I just need to get my constants on the other. So I end up with y equals 1, and that does work for all of the denominators. So it's very important to know the difference of, is it set up like a proportion, like numbers 1 and 2 in this lesson were, or is it set up where you have to find your least common multiple, which that was like 3 through 5. It is also very important that when you're finding that least common multiple and you're going through all of that, that you distribute the negative, like in number 4, how I distributed that negative. It is so, so crucial, because when you're going through the process, you're going to forget that you're subtracting that fraction, and you're going to lose the negative in the process, making your answer incorrect. So I don't want you to suffer through that, so I want you to pay very close attention to those kinds of details. And this finishes up this lesson.